All right, let's go with this vlog. Yeah, as you can see, it's been a long wait. It's been a long wait after many hype in the video game world and the movie world. We finally the wait is over. The wait is over, and I finally saw the long-awaited Super Mario Brothers movie, the latest animation from Illumination. uh, I I was really anticipating this movie, but at the same time, I was dreading it. I'll get to it right in a second, because first I gotta let you know that I really love the Mario games. I haven't played all of them, but I really I admit that I enjoy the Mario games much more than I enjoy a Zelda game. It's probably because it has a kind of like this quirky world that is enjoyable. I like the 2D versions. I like the 3D versions, but I do have a kind of like a preference of the RPG elements when they were making the RPG style Mario games. As you can see, I'm a big fan of Super Mario RPG, as well as Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi games, which are story-based RPGs. And honestly, I really liked a lot of those stories. That personally, I don't think that none of those stories is gonna make the movie top them off. So I was I was thinking that, okay, maybe this is gonna be something like that. Of course, I gotta talk about the elephant of the room, the 90s Super Mario movie, which is considered kind of like the first film adaptation of a video game. The one with Bob Hopkins and John Leguizamo as the Mario Brothers. I saw the movie a few months ago, and let me tell you that the movie indeed sucks. That movie indeed sucks. It has almost no merit, because it feels tone deaf on what it wanted to do with the Mario series. And but gotta admit that there is a sense of campy guilty pleasure, in the sense that they got a little bit ambiguous with the world building, as well as some of the CGI special effects that they wanted to do. But the problem is that it kind of called itself the Super Mario Brothers movie, and it didn't feel more like a Mario movie, and more kind of like a Blade Runner, kind of like a Blade Runner sequel. Funny enough, I haven't seen Blade Runner. I tried to watch it, but the first 15 minutes was such a bore that I didn't even finish it. Oh, I almost forgot. Also, let's not forget that I did enjoy the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. That was a cool TV series, in which I really like, of course, both the animated section, and as well as the live action section involving Captain Lou Albano and Danny Welch. Rest their souls, because honestly, while the cartoon didn't age a little bit too well, it still has a delightful campiness out of it. But those live action segments still holds up, and which kind of is a testament of the 90s, that is enjoyable. So this is technically my backstory with the Mario Brothers in the sense of film and television. And I already told you also a little bit about the video game. And as for this movie, well, if you saw a few years ago about my reaction of the live of the Nintendo Direct when they announced the movie, I was also actually kind of like really surprised about the the choices in the voice acting. But let me tell you, I wish I could have been a little bit more excited about this movie. But one pain in the ass was the one that kind of soared out my enthusiasm to this movie. And you know it. No, I'm not talking about Chris Pratt. I mean, Chris Pratt was the one that they targeted when on controversy, saying that no, this guy cannot voice act and everything. No, my hate was mostly sore in Jack Black, because as you know me, I freaking hate Jack Black. I have a passionate hate on this guy, because I don't think he's a good actor, but he is a terrible actor, a terrible singer, and apparently everyone is acting deaf and tone deaf to see it. So much that everyone love him. They even love him in the movies that they suck. But unfortunately, no. I hate him. I hate him since Kung Fu Panda. I hate him since King Kong. I hate him in Goosebumps. I freaking hate him in almost everything. Especially also that I consider that this guy, he really plays up as some of the most mean-spirited characters and acting the whole thing. And boy, that everybody ruins it. And by the way, he also ruined Star Wars because he dared to show up in The Mandalorian. I didn't see The Mandalorian, but I got news recently that he appeared there. So thank you to put a stain on some of our other beloved franchises. So the whole Jack Black thing is definitely something that marred my whole expectation from this movie, because everything else I was actually really excited. I was really excited that I wanted to see this movie, but no, it's almost like you're invited to a party, but you're kind of a little bit not sure how you're gonna act up, because you know that your biggest enemy is also gonna attend. That's the biggest feeling that I have with this one. And by the way, I also didn't try to hold up too much my expectations, because at the end of the day, it's still an Illumination movie, and Illumination is not exactly the kind of animation studio that they just want to get Oscar worthy, or well, sometimes they tried, but they're more focuses on appealing younger audiences and more than a whole audience, and we see. Although there are some movies that I do like for an Illumination. I'm kind of like, and one of those that I do like, the Sync movies. But when you see movies like the Minions or The Secret Life of Pets, which I have mixed feelings out of it, you can tell the kind of animation that they go through. It's one of those that they don't take seriously the whole thing, and they think that, oh, let's just do it for appeal purposes. Also, how dare they to try to remember us that it made us the Grinch. That movie wasn't exactly that good. And the more I think about it, it's more that Grinch movie wasn't exactly very good. And I knew that there were going to be some elements that they're going to try to have some pop culture appeal that, believe it, again, it's Illumination. Illumination is no DreamWorks, nor not even Pixar. Sometimes it's kind of like, Illumination is technically kind of like the annoying little brother from the animation studios. That it entertains you, but it's not exact. It's always more style over substance. So the day finally got, and a good thing that I came with an audience that were actually respectful. The children were enjoying the movie, and they didn't do so much squat about it that makes me annoyed. They let me concentrate on the movie, by the way. And at the end of the day, a part of my soul hatred to Jack Black, I'm happy to say that this movie is actually really enjoyable. I came out really, really enjoying it. I enjoy the movie despite the whole Jack Black thing. There is, of course, I still have my hatred to Jack Black, but still, that didn't kind of turn. I'm gonna try to play fair and say that this movie is an enjoyable ride. Not exact. It's pretty much a movie that is full of Easter eggs. That if you're kind of like a big Nintendo fan or a Nintendo follower like me, you're gonna see a lot of things that is gonna make you feel like you're gonna enjoy. Like for example, hey, oh, look at this reference, look at this reference, look at this reference. So much the movie was so enjoyable that, and I also give my respects to what they were going through. It's really an energetic love letter to Nintendo. Even in the few scenes that they dropped you a lot of those Easter eggs, ranging from I feel I can name a few. There is if you can find, there is a Jumpman arcade. There is some picture with the punch out characters. There is kind of like a crystal Pikmin somewhere. There's a Kid Icarus thing, and those are some of those. And oh yeah, and also I gotta give them credit that they what was it? That they also give out a little bit of a love letter to the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, because of course we have the Mario Brothers. They live in Brooklyn, like the American Lord of Super Mario Brothers, and their commercial actually plays the Super Mario Brothers rap, with the Mario Brothers and plumbing the way. That was great to start out the movie, but nevertheless, it despite everything, the story don't expect something like big grandiose or a story, or kind of like an epic story like you see in the Mario and Luigi video games or the Paper Mario series. No, this one, the story, they play it safe and it's pretty basic. Like in this one, in which Mario and Luigi, they find this kind of this world, which is the Mushroom Kingdom. But while on their way, they got separated, and Mario goes to the Mushroom Kingdom where he meets the Toads and the princess, and at the same time he's determined to save his brother Luigi, that he lands on Bowser's castle, and at the same time he gets a star, which is basically he feels that he has the power to conquer the Mushroom Kingdom, as well as wanting to make Princess Peach his wife. That's the best I can describe the synopsis of the story. Simple, but it has some layers that I actually really like. I really like something like the layer that you don't have kind of like the very very confident Mario that you see him in the video games or in every media. No, you actually find Mario that they gave him kind of like a few layers of three-dimensionalities, making him, that he's new to the whole thing, but he has the good charisma that he doesn't give up. He's always nice on his feet. He's brave enough to stand up even to a big tall guy named Spike, and that he has a close relationship with Luigi. And honestly, the brotherhood between Mario and Luigi is basically the strongest points that this movie has. I really love how Mario and Luigi are kind of like brothers, and to make it a little bit more to make the world a little bit bigger, we get a few scenes in which they actually have their family of their own, including there's a kind of like a hidden layer that Mario is seeking some approval from his father. And by the way, the father is actually played by the current voice of Mario in the games, which is none other than Charles Martinet, which kind of also opened a can of worms of discussion of the whole problem with the whole problem with this movie, which is. But not only this movie, but the whole movie industry in which, I'm gonna talk about it, in which this is also a little bit something that came out during Nintendo Direct, that the biggest problem about the casting choices of the voices is that they really choose a lot of A-listers actors that they're not exactly voice actors. And you know what? Chris Pratt wasn't exactly that bad of a Mario, but he's not exactly, kind of like kind of actor material or voice actor material. Everyone, when they talk with their voices, they are, well, actors. They're just actors, and considering that the industry do need some more personality on their voices. This is why voice actors actually train their voices. They even break their voices in order to commit to the art. But then Hollywood decided that no, we need big names so they can be more recognizable. So here you go, we need Mario as Chris Pratt, Charlie Day as Luigi, and we got what was it, Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, and so on. Even Jack Black as Bowser. God damn it. Sorry, I know. I'm gonna try to constrain my no, I can't. I just can't. I know that he's doing the voice acting. Thankfully, they kind of masked the whole Jack Black voice, but man, that every time he appears, he's kind of like a sore. They even make him sing this song named Peaches, which is kind of like a Peach love song that he has, and he's terrible. The Peaches song is terrible. This is another sword song that this movie has. That Peaches song is terrible. I don't know if this was on purpose terrible, but anyone who says that they love the Peaches song is tone deaf. Sorry to insult you at anyone, but you guys are so tone deaf because that Peaches song is terrible. I hope that is on purpose terrible. Oh yeah, and speaking about Mario's father, played by Charles Martinet, this also gave out a little bit also an extra layer to Mario's journey in which he tries to make his family, proud of him, and because the father is technically worried that he's gonna drag Luigi into his shenanigans. Oh yeah, and also they wanted to bring out also an extra layer, bringing that Mario actually starts out not liking mushrooms, because mushrooms is a big part of the Mario games, and here we have. As I've been talking a lot more about Mario, let me tell you that Luigi spends a lot of the time being captured, and I gotta admit that Charlie Day as Luigi, he fits really, really well. I think that he's probably the best voice actor in the whole movie, because he actually puts on a layer of voice acting in it. And a funny thing is that every time that Charlie Day talks, I was actually expecting Luigi just scream "Spaceship!" like in the Lego movie. Another thing that I do have a little bit of criticism is I'm gonna sound like someone that you might not like, but I have a small criticism on how they constructed Princess Peach on this movie. The thing is that Princess Peach in the games, I know that many like to joke that, oh my gosh, she gets captured a lot of times. She can't defend herself. But she's a little bit different, and like Mario Strikers or Mario Kart and everything. But hear me out. I think I rather like that Princess Peach more than how they make her into the movie because the problem that I find with the new with the portrayal of Princess Peach in this one is that they wanted to make her more like a girl boss or someone that she for lack of better words, she needs no one to rescue her or something like that. But they missed the point of what makes the Princess Peach of the video game kind of like appealing. It's not exactly that. Yeah, I know that everyone's saying that it's kind of like outdated that she gets captured and a lot of times, but they kind of missed the point that Princess Peach has kind of like a different factor that makes her appealing, and that is her gentle and sweet personality. That Princess Peach, they tried it has to have some sweet. They try to have some sweet qualities, but every time she kind of becomes kind of like this girl boss that she needs no man or everything, it makes her feel like, well, like any cookie cutter character that we have seen. I know that I'm sounding like a kind of like a chauvinist guy, but that's not my intention. I'm just kind of saying that there is no such thing in weakness in kindness and being a sweet character, because that's practically the appeal of Princess Peach. So basically, this is not exactly a Princess Peach that I could imagine. I mean, yeah, she gets captured by Bowser many times in the video games, but still, if you kind of hide her, if you have her kind of, and she's still badass. Let me tell you, she's still badass when she has in the video games. She can when she can be also kind of like lovable and sweet and as someone and being kind of like a motherly character to the Toads. That's endearing, but unfortunately they couldn't translate this on this movie, and they decided that we need to make her a little bit of an action girl, in which unfortunately I don't see her more like Princess Peach and more like another one of those action girl characters, and that's not her. That's not exactly how I can envision. I envision Princess Peach more like kind of like a kind, motherly character, in which when she's pushed to the limits, this is where she can become the action girl like the Super Mario Smash Brothers and something like that. And of course, I don't know why the movie decided to also incorporate the Donkey Kong characters in there, most notably Cranky and Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong, it was a part of the Mario series, but nowadays I feel like they could go well kind of like separated. I know that many people love Donkey Kong, but I'm like Donkey Kong, but to a certain extent. It's not exactly my favorite franchise. Oh, but funnily enough, Donkey Kong is played by Seth Rogen, and man, that he fits. He fits the role of Donkey Kong. Although the character comes off a little bit of an asshole sometimes, just for kind of like a quick, just kind of like to make kind of like a quick brotherhood with Mario. But still, I still think that the brotherhood between Mario and Luigi are the best parts of the movie. There's even a cameo of Baby Mario and Baby Luigi that is kind of like the most wholesome part of the movie. And continuing on, the animation is really good, I'll say. And you see a lot of things going on in the background that I already mentioned. Some of the Easter eggs. I mentioned some of the how the background looks. It's really good, and you can tell that they were so ambitious in this movie. And of course, you get also Easter eggs during the music. You're gonna hear some familiar tones, a little bit more orchestrated and a little bit more pump up, because they wanted to make this movie feel like epic, and it's really good. But here goes another criticism that I have with the movie, because at the end of the day, it's still an Illumination movie. And when it's an Illumination movie, there were kind of like 2 or 3 times that they had to add pop music. Yeah, they add cover music on this movie, and it didn't need it to. It didn't need it to have all those cover musics that because it will feel like it feels like one of those movies that they just want to feel hip in order to appeal to the children. At least they should one time will have been enough. But no, they have to repeat it kind of like 3 times in order to have some cover music to cover up the lack of funds to make an orchestral music. So don't come crying if you kind of feel like, oh, why they have to add "I Need Your Hero" music. But you know what? I prefer that over the Peaches song from Jack Black. Jeez. So that's basically the whole enchilada with this. But either way, yeah. Despite my criticisms about this movie, it's not boring. The movie is not boring. It's really fun, and you're gonna enjoy it for what it's worth, and you're gonna applaud for that they did made an effort to make a Mario movie, and honestly, it's a better Mario movie than the other what they tried with the Mario movie. This was basically billion times better than the Bob Hoskins' John Leguizamo Mario movie. It is enjoyable. It has heart. It has some heart. It has music. And again, despite my hatred to Jack Black, I still can recommend this movie wholesomely. So much that I really feel like I want to watch this movie for the second time, even though I had to, you know what. So anyway, that's technically all the thing that I had to say about the Super Mario Brothers movie. That it was a long wait, but it did ultimately paid off. I haven't even seen some of the reviews that they have. I hear some people saying that it's really good. Some people kind of criticize Donkey Kong or something like that. I haven't paid attention to that. Some people have mixed feelings, but you know, funnily enough, I've seen that it is on how much it is. Let me check it out. Let me see. 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it deserves that one, but you know what? I don't care for Rotten Tomatoes. They can have their own opinions here and there. I know that it's been review bombed, but don't listen to the critics. By the way, it's harmless. It's enjoyable. It is a pure fan service for people who are loyal to Nintendo like me, and honestly, for a video game movie, it could have been gone worse. It could have been worse. Oh, and by the way, stay during the credits, because you're gonna get kind of like a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene that probably this is gonna mean that it's not gonna that this is far from over for the Super Mario Brothers movie. But with that said, I enjoyed the movie for what it's worth. So what else there is to it? Well, nothing. Do the Mario. Do the Mario.